Tonight, they're back. A new investigation by KFILE reveals some of the most controversial figures from Donald Trump's first term are not only back to work for Trump, they have more power than before. One of the men KFILE investigated, calling President Obama a terrorist leader and suggesting a former CIA director be executed. Another attacked a woman's right to vote. CNN's Andrew Kaczynski and the KFILE team have been tracking these individuals for years. And Andrew, that is the incredible reporting, because it is only in doing that that you can actually get the totality and the context and all of this that is so crucial. So you uncovered some of these extreme beliefs during Trump's first term. So, top job at the Pentagon is just an example.
Yeah. And I'm going to walk through just a few of them for people. But so these are at least 4 people that we found, Aaron, in our reporting that were deemed too toxic, too inflammatory, too extreme to get Senate confirmation in a couple of these jobs, or 3 of these jobs. And in one case, to even keep their job, one of them was fired. And let's start right off with Anthony Tata, who is nominated now to be, who was nominated in 2020 to be the Undersecretary of State. That is the 3rd highest ranking position at the Pentagon. His nomination stalled after we reported on some of his inflammatory comments, including a tweet that people just saw a second ago, in which he claimed sort of a odd conspiracy theory that John Brennan, who was the CIA director under Barack Obama, had tweeted a code to assassinate Donald Trump because he shared a quote from Cicero, who was like a Roman statesman. I had to look it up, and you can see he said it was a, quote, clear threat against POTUS. Now, look at this follow-up tweet that he then sent to somebody who was, which he sent it to Brennan, saying that it might be a good time to, quote, pick your poison, firing squad, public hanging, life sentence as a prison bitch, or suck on your pistol, your call. We reported on that. That tweet was removed. Obviously, it violated Twitter's terms of service, at least at the time.
At the time.
And yeah, so now he's renominated to head military readiness at the Pentagon, and we'll be interested to see it with the Republican Senate now, because all of those Trump nominees, with the exception of Ed Martin, who we've talked about on the show, have pretty much gotten through.
All right. So, he said all those things. Last time, that was enough to get you removed. This time, apparently not, because obviously all this is known. Mm-hmm. This is known to Team Trump. So that's one example. We also mentioned there was somebody who said women should not vote. Mm-hmm. Who's that?
Well, that's right. That's John Gibbs, who is in charge of all policy and research now at the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Gibbs was nominated in 2020 to lead the Office of Personnel and Management. That's sort of the HR department for the federal government. It's actually a very powerful job. Extremely important job. Yep. He did not see his nomination advanced originally at the time, because we reported on that he shared some very bizarre conspiracy theory that Clinton's campaign chairman had engaged in satanic rituals. This is something he said on Twitter in 2016. He also defended a person who was sharing neo-Nazi era propaganda, saying they shouldn't have been removed from the platform. Then let's fast forward to 2022, to what we referenced here. He ran for Congress. Trump supported him. He ousted a Republican who voted to impeach Trump. Gibbs gets the nomination. And we found that in the 2000s, Gibbs ran a self-described think tank called the Society for the Critique of Feminism, which argued that women shouldn't be able to vote. And I want people to look at some of the quotes that we found, because they really are something. This is from his website. It said, some argue that in a democratic society, it's hypocritical or unjust for women, who are 50% of the population, not to have the right to vote. He cites the Founding Fathers, said they didn't believe so. And then he goes on to basically say that people under 18 can't vote. So we cannot say that women should be able to vote simply because they are a large part of the population. He went on a little bit further.
That's incredible.
And he argued in another comment where he's talking about the federal government has grown since women, he's a Republican, so he's mad the federal government has grown since women have gotten the right to vote. And he goes, we conclude that increasing the size and scope of government is unequivocally bad. And since women's suffrage has caused this to occur on a large scale than any other cause in history, we conclude that the United States has suffered as a result of women's suffrage. So now he's nominated, or he's appointed at HUD. He runs all research. So he's back in a position that's possibly more powerful than what he had before.
I'm just trying to think how one gets to the logic of, since women's suffrage has caused government employment to go up. That's incredible. Okay, so we've got calling for the possible assassination of the CIA director. We've got women shouldn't vote. What about the person who spoke alongside white nationalists?
So that's Darren Betty. He was a speechwriter in the Trump White House. He was fired in 2018 after I reported that he spoke at a conference alongside white nationalists. In the 7 years after that happened, he has been appointed, first off, as the Undersecretary of State for Public Diplomacy, which is a pretty important job.
Yep.
In the years since then, he has put a lot of racist conspiracy theories, misogynistic comments. He cheered on the January 6th riot at the Capitol as it was happening. And then he later spread conspiracy theories that the federal government had been the people that did January 6th. He also made a lot of inflammatory, sort of racist comments, including writing that competent white men must be in charge if you want things to work. Unfortunately, our entire national ideology is predicated on coddling the feelings of women and minorities and demoralizing competent white men. And then we also found that on January 6th, he sent a lot of tweets that were targeting Black lawmakers and Black organizations, Black leaders, including that mostly said they should, quote, take a knee as a sign of respect for MAGA. He said Tim Scott, there's the one you see about BLM. He said BLM must take a knee to MAGA. They must learn their place. And he targeted Senator Tim Scott, Black Republican, saying Tim Scott needs to learn his place and take a knee to MAGA. All of these tweets were sent on January 6th after, as I mentioned earlier, he had been cheering on the rioters.
And I think any person in this country knows what know his place means in the context of American racial history. What are they saying now? So
we reached out to Betty. We didn't get a response. We reached out to Tata. He declined to comment, but he did apologize 2 weeks ago during his confirmation hearing. He said those comments were out of character. Gibbs gave us a comment where he said, just as President Trump has modeled courage and resilience in the face of vicious assaults, attempts to degrade my character with false attacks have not and will not succeed. The best is yet to come.
All right. Again, just to be clear, those posts you shared were from him.
So. Absolutely.
All right. Andrew Kaczynski, thank you very much. Incredible reporting.